It's a warm welcome we say to you. This is Wellness and Living. My name is Thelma Obaza. Today is a very exciting package, bringing many things together with the hope that it will have the most impact on you and you will get value for watching. Wellness is a complete integration of the body, the mind, and the spirit. So says Greg Anderson. And so it is indeed. And that's the message we always bring forward on our program, Wellness and Living.
The essence of Tai Chi and yoga is for those that cannot do intensive exercise and sometimes for those that want to recover.
You have heard of Tai Chi. Have you also heard about yoga? Have you ever practiced them? Tai Chi, I hear, is from the Asian continent and it has come to us in Nigeria and many people practice it. And there are people who teach it and they say the benefits are enormous. Let's tell you what we know. Tai Chi exercise is a non-competitive soft martial art known for its self-defense techniques and health benefits. It combines gentle physical exercise and stretching with mindfulness. The ancient Chinese practices of Tai Chi and Qigong combine slow, deliberate movements, meditation, and breathing exercises. It involves a series of movements performed in a slow, focused manner and accompanied by deep breathing. Also, Tai Chi Chuan is a non-competitive, self-paced system of gentle physical exercise and stretching. Each positive flow goes into the next without pause, ensuring that your body is balanced, aligned, and enjoys proper circulation. It is a low-impact workout and is especially helpful to seniors. Tai Chi is for everyone, and it's deceptive in that many do not know that it helps to burn a lot of calories. Research shows that 1 hour of Tai Chi actually burns more calories than surfing and nearly as many as downhill skiing. It improves strength, flexibility, body awareness, and mental concentration. Tai Chi can improve your health too. It is said to improve the flow of Qi, a physically intangible energy or life force. Abdul, I've come to learn, is a man of many exciting paths. He's a fitness trainer. He's actively involved in Tai Chi. He also talks about yoga. And with his creative slant, he has now brought Tai Chi and blended with yoga, and he has given it a very unique and uncommon name. In fact, I've never heard it before. He calls this one Teo.
Tai Chi is a Chinese martial art and at the same time awareness exercise that help the health of an individual and improve everybody development. Yoga is a still awareness program. When you look at yoga, you practice in one stillness, movement, and it's help in improving our tightness. When you feel very tight, you can practice yoga. And at the same time, when you feel stress, and a stressful body is not productive body. As such, when you practice this, you are able to have some reserve energy you can use to do some activities. So I combine it called Teo, Tai Chi, and yoga because there are not much differences in its essence. Stillness and motion has to be combined. Stillness alone cannot cover your overall health development. you have to engage the body in moving from one point to the other. For example, you can stay in this position and practice all your movements as yoga. And then when you are involving an exchange of your body from one point to another, therefore, Tai Chi coming in. And at the end of the day, once you can take your time and practice this, you feel alive. You feel you can sleep well. And at the same time, without, making it so hard for yourself, especially in high intensive aerobic, you can pick yoga, you can pick Tai Chi. You can combine the both when you have the time. 2 minutes of Tai Chi, 1 minute of yoga is enough for those that are working in the office. Now, if you have enough time, 30 minutes for those that have enough time, like you came back from work from 4:30, you can enter the class from 5. You can do 1 to 2 series of Tai Chi movement that can help your spinal cord, help your joint, relieve your pains. Your health is what you need. And at the same time, the body you live in, you need to maintain it. Without being maintaining your body, they are going to fall. They are dying slowly. By it helps you to know what's wrong with you. There are some therapy you can use to help yourself, especially those that always have a problem with snoring, because it's due to stress, due to overweight, and due to health-related problem. All this can be overcome when you design awareness program, because you are aware of your breath, because everything is done. Both yoga and Tai Chi are done in combination of breathing exercises, pranayama, Tai Chi, Chi massage, and at the same time relaxation. All form of corpse poses help you to revitalize your body. Yes, you can actually share with, but there are two conditions. Time, one, and at the same time, you have to be free of all your problems. You have to keep your problems before starting your classes. When I say problem, it includes, whether it's family issue, office issue, and at the same time, you have to remove excess waste in your stomach before starting yoga and Tai Chi, because you need a full awareness inside here. And when you practice, it's advisable for you to start with yoga because it's stillness. When you start yoga, then you do Tai Chi. Especially for the men. But for women, it's important for you to start with Tai Chi and close up with yoga, because you're going to do a lot of cross poses by lying down, series of sleeping position, and at the same time regain the energy being used. So this way, we can define a way of losing weight. Once you want to lose weight, you will start looking at which weight you want to shed. Because when somebody wants to lose weight, it's not the weight of the body or the weight of the muscle. We want to loosen the fat in that body. Your weight may be within, residing around your stomach. Your weight may reside around your thigh. Your weight may reside around your arms or around your back. So when this happens, we design a series of programs for that very problem as such. Because if you just practice because you see people practicing, you don't have the problem she has as such. So you must practice with an expert that will design a program to your problem. At the same time, you need to consult your doctor so that before you talk to your instructor, these are the problem I have. I had an accident and have a spinal disc problem. I have some kind of broken legs. I always have series of headache, so that he can adjust your program. Everybody cannot practice the same thing others are practicing.
Perhaps you're celebrating, it's a birthday, or it's a wedding, or your alumnus is coming together after 3 decades since you left school. And of course, you want to purchase the same fabric and make wonderful styles and appear at the event with lots of pomp and pageantry. It's all good. It adds excitement to the event when we all dress alike or wear similar outfits. Everyone is happy and it shows togetherness. When you do get there, there'll be lots of food and drink. It often happens. So what do? Leisure is important to help the body unwind and relax, to invigorate the body mentally and physically too. It is a necessary habit that everyone must imbibe. How do you spend your leisure time?
Yeah, I do go to parties actually.
I don't spend my usual time going for parties because I know it's not every time to attend, not anyhow parties we do attend though.
When I'm less busy, when I don't have anything doing, I go to parties and I enjoy going to parties.
For many, especially those who work 5 days every week, leisure time starts at the weekend when, with pomp and pageantry, they adorn themselves in attractive colors and styles and storm the occasion of their choice. Perhaps a wedding ceremony, a birthday celebration, or an inauguration of some sort. There is often food. Then the ashwebi is in full glare. How do you comport yourself outside? Is there a right way and a wrong way? Check this. For example, many party goers hustle, or if you like, rush the ushers, waiters for different varieties of food.
I feel when I buy the clothes and they see me, they should automatically give me the food. Even if I'm someone they don't know. As far as I have the clothes everybody's putting on, I have the right to the food.
Buying the ashebi doesn't mean you should go and eat extra, or you are just buying it for yourself. At least you are the one to wear it. You will feel good if you are wearing it at least, and you also make them feel happy because you make them special by doing it.
I feel I have extra rights actually because before I buy Ashwebi, I know the person I'm attending his or her party is close to me and stuff. So I deserve at least to eat the food now, you understand?
Me buying the ashebi doesn't mean I have right to the food because it's kind of awkward. I might just disgrace myself in that process, trying to form that I have the right to everything there. I might just end up disgracing myself.
Trying to access food is not bad in itself, but sometimes in such quantities that it is obvious that the receiver cannot finish all of that in one sitting. This habit is not too good. How do you eat when you are outside your home? No, do not rush your meals. Eat with decorum. Do not let those around you begin to wonder if rice and chicken, or a goosey or a foriro and pounded yam are imported delicacy. They are ours, and sometimes you can make these meals at home. Now, to those souvenirs. Because you purchased ashwebi, you want to fill your bag with souvenirs? What happens to the other people who also attend the event?
Most times I go to parties with my friend. When they order their food, I follow what they order. But sometimes when I go alone, I like local dishes. So I go for local dishes most times.
No, party food is not a right. You have to behave yourself, be very mature, cool down. There should be no fights. Because as attached to it, party things sometimes it results to fights, results to problems like that. And as there's so many stories as attached to food. So you have to behave yourself very comfortable, sit down, whether it comes to you or not, then you behave yourself.
It's just like I have to behave like let's say mature, like let's say not at least not eating everything. Now that kind chop and all kind of stuff. So at least I try as much as possible to take the portion I can consume.
When you take more than has been mapped out for you. When you do that, many others will not get their souvenirs. If the shoe were on the other foot, how would you feel? Now, my dear friends, remember this. Good character is what you exhibit when no one is watching. Are you exhibiting good conduct and character? Answer honestly and check yourself where and when need be. Answer honestly and check yourself when necessary. that talk with Abdul, of course, my curiosity was piqued. I wanted to see the practical aspect of Tai Chi, yoga, the blend, bringing it together, forming Teyo. What does it now translate into? What kind of music is brought to play to ensure that those who are practicing it get a fantastic blend of calmness as well as fluid body movement? Well, I grabbed Abdul. This is how it went. I had a fantastic experience working out with Abdul, learning about Tai Chi, yoga, the fantastic blend, of Teo, learning to bring forth music that helps you meditate as well as practice some fluid body movements. And I know you want to do it too. Are you interested in getting totally warmed up? Feeling very good when you take nice movements that can relax you and help you to unwind, then get in touch with us. Abdul has promised that as soon as we're ready, we can gather together and have a fantastic time doing Teyo. It's always a great pleasure to have your company on Wellness and Living on the Nigerian Television Authority. Just like today, please join us on our social media handle, Wellness and Living at Nigerian Television Authority. We are on Facebook. For now, it's a wrap. We'd love to spend time with you again on the program. Until that, it's bye for now.
Man is created to be able to make choices in life. The choices we make as Homo sapiens makes man either rational or an irrational being. Based on his choices, he is expected to be responsible for the totality of his actions and inactions. A man's lifestyle is the interest, opinions, behaviors, and behavioral orientations of the individual, group, or culture. Life is full of choices, good or bad, white or black. The various choices we make as individuals will one day catch up with us. One of those choices we make in life relates to our health. After all, it is often said, health is wealth. It suffices that our health is important and should be precious to us. However, some of our choices in life as individuals responsible for our various ways of life leaves much to be desired. While a healthy lifestyle will help promote physical fitness and leaves us energetic and at reduced risk for diseases, based on the choices we make in our daily habits, an unhealthy lifestyle exposes us to avoidable risk of varying degrees of dangers, some controllable and some fatal.
Your lifestyle can affect your health in several ways. If you're a smoker, be prepared to die early. If you're a drunkard, your liver is at stake. So if you live a good lifestyle, there's every tendency that you would live longer.
Kind of food you eat, like proteinous foods, which are very, very good for our health. Not that alone, you take in good water to flush in and to make your food digest easily.
We must be able to consider physical fitness, because people who do not, indulge in exercises, daily exercises, they most times have their life being, hampered. So on daily basis, we must be able to form the habit of, doing exercises, or one way or the other have ourselves, doing physical fitness exercises.
When you live your life, you need to balance up. You don't need to overstress and overwork yourself. Yes, you should work, but you should know the balance between work and rest, so you don't break down at a point and then you just get very useless.
What we consume, eat, drink, or smoke goes a long way in determining the status of our health in the long run.
The most common for us, and I think I should start with that, is unnecessary sugar. Instead of doing that, why not opt for a healthy option like your fruit juice, freshly made, which you're sure contains nutrients. Too much alcohol is not good for the body. Cigarette already said that already. And then fats, they have saturated fats. Saturated fats are totally bad for us.
Good nutrition, daily exercise, and adequate sleep are foundations for continuing good health. As important and simplistic these seems, it requires great discipline for anyone to maintain a healthy lifestyle which helps improve our general well-being.
If you are self-read, if you take your body seriously enough to be able to research by yourself, I don't think it will cost you anything. Because if you think your body is important enough and you read up on what to do at the right time and how to handle your body, it wouldn't cost you anything. But if you feel like, oh, you're too busy doing, because there's something I respect professionalism. There are some people, like I said, I'm a lifestyle doctor. This is my work. This is where I am focused on. So if you think you're too busy focusing on your own profession, that you wouldn't have the time to do that, then it would cost you something to be able to get my service. But if you really take your body seriously, it shouldn't cost you anything to read up on things to do to make yourself a better person.
Eating the right food, fruits, vegetables, stress management, and a regular medical checkup can help us to maintain a perfect or near perfect healthy living. Unfortunately, it's been discovered that most people are complacent about their lifestyle habits, and so they do the opposite of what ordinarily should help them promote and sustain a good healthy living.
Unhealthy lifestyle is actually life-threatening. It is life-threatening. Beyond the fact that it might cost your life, I think you should actually think about, a lot of people, nobody wants to die really. People want to live long. But if you want to live long, quote and unquote, how do you want to see yourself when you are like 80? Do you want to be a burden on people? Do you want to be healthy enough? Do you want to be strong enough to function properly? Because actually living a healthy lifestyle is like an investment. Most people that are sad, depressed, if you check, their lifestyles are not in order. If you follow all the 6 headings, from the nutrition to exercise to tobacco and alcohol consumption to stress management to proper sleeping and having healthy relationships, if these lifestyles, if they are well balanced, I can assure you won't have people committing suicide. So like the toll on the body, like the list is endless.
In general, as rational human beings, you are responsible for the consequences of your actions and inactions. Why won't you choose to live a healthy lifestyle that will not predispose you to fatal consequences in life?
This is Sherry Hills. The Sherry Hills are a range of undulating hills and rock formations on the Jos Plateau. It is situated about 10 kilometers east of the Jos metropolis, the capital of Plateau State, north central Nigeria. Sherry Hills have numerous high peaks with the highest reaching a height of about 1,829 meters above sea level.
Perhaps no society can reach the zenith of its development without taking its women along in its strides. Quintessentially, training for good citizenship begins at home, firsthand. The first contact is the woman, the trainer and shaper of the individual citizen for good governance, for good and better society. Economically, too, women are movers and shakers at the grassroots level of the economy, and of course, to the zenith, that is the macro level of the economy. Moment for thought in this edition takes a look at the women, or the Nigerian women, in this giant stride towards attaining the next level of development by the Bukhari administration in the current dispensation. You welcome my Maliu Babu Baro. I have with me in the studio Mrs. Pauline Tarlin, the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs. And she was a minister too with Science and Technology portfolio. She was a deputy governor, Plateau State. Mrs. Pauline Tarlin, before her current appointment, was special advisor to the president and of course the chairman of NACA, that is National Action Plan Against AIDS. And she is a member of Board of Trustees of the APC, the All Progressive Congress. You're welcome to the program. Congratulations for your appointment.
Thank you very much.
This is a continuation of another saddle, on the saddle of a ministerial appointment at the federal level. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yes. And I have with me Dr. Leonard Nzenwa. He's a doctor in public communications. He holds degrees and certificates in public administration, political sciences, marketing, finance, economics, and communication. He has a multi-industrial corporate work experience spanning over 2 decades, a member of several professionals and occupational bodies, a trainer and resource person of note. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on the program.
Thank you. What I haven't mentioned is he's a doctor too that concerns himself with the women folk. Talking about our mothers.
Yes, exactly.
He's part of it, I suppose.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yep.
I can see that he's a he for she.
He's a he for she.
Yes.
That is good. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Honorable Minister, you know, when you talk about women, you talk it with passion. When you talk about science and technology, it is something. When you talk about politics and governance, you are at the grassroots level, and as a deputy governor, you work at the grassroots level, and you come to the federal level. And before then, you were a minister, and now a minister again.
Okay.
And now talking about you, let me put it that way, our mothers. How do you see this development of Nigeria's, that is the path of Nigeria's development by the Buhari administration's change agenda, and now working towards the next level? What is the agenda on ground for the women? You now are the helm, so to speak, of affairs.
Thank you very much, Baba Baro. I want to start by thanking the Almighty God for enabling the President to assign me to this ministry. A very important ministry. In the first place, this is the ministry that deals with over half the population of the country. I'm sure you'll agree with me that women constitute over 51% of the total population.
Interesting.
And that's the highest. Women are mothers, women are wives, women are sisters, women are daughters to you, all of you. And I'm sure you love your mother, I'm sure you love your wife, I'm sure you love your daughter. Women is in the center of everything.
Encircle the individual.
The home, it is the woman that is the heart of the home. I'm sure you'll agree with me that a home without a wife is an empty home.
Correct.
A home without a mother is empty. And if you just can cast your mind back anytime your wife travels and you are left alone to manage the children, you will almost go crazy.
Yes.
So
Not easy.
this is to show you the significance of women in nation building. It is the woman, the mother that rocks the cradle. Our leaders at all levels were brought up and nurtured by mothers. So for anybody not to carry women in national development is making the greatest mistake. I am happy Mr. President has taken the right step by increasing at least by one. Although we say thank you, but it's still not enough.
The Oliver Twist?
Yes, of course I accept it.
Yes.
We are Oliver Twist because we need to be attended to, we need to be carried along, we need to to take our rightful place in nation building. Look at countries that carry women along in all spheres of development. Look at Rwanda, look at South Africa, look at Dakar, Senegal, Ghana, Ethiopia, name it. Almost all the African countries are far ahead of us. Why? Because they have taken the largest chunk of the population along with them. When you carry women in scheme of things, you are carrying starting from the family. You are carrying the family. The family is the nucleus of the society.
Yes, the minutest group of
That's right. And once you get it right at the family level, the society and the entire country.
Charity begins at home, yes.
So carrying women along is a divine project. Because even from creation, God saw that the man cannot do it without the woman. The man was not happy, he could not smile, he could not do anything until God created the woman. So for a man to be complete, if you see a man succeeds in whatever he's doing, he has a good home, he has a peaceful home, he has a wife that is giving him the backing behind the scene. So once this woman is well educated, there is no profession in Nigeria today that you don't find women that are participating actively. We have female pilots, we have female engineers, we have female doctors, lawyers, name it. And if we have more of that, the development will speed up. So I am appealing to all Nigerians to acknowledge this divine project and carry women along so that we can attain the required development we are yearning for. But if we ignore this chunk of population that are very willing in the marketplace, women dominate it.
Well, we could see that actually. Let me come to Dr. Zenwa. You heard what the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs said, perhaps starting from the grassroots, or the minutest group of the society, that is the family, then the community, the school system, and the general society. Women, from your own perspective, let's take a look at the issue of value system. We all cry out and say the youth are losing their values, the moral decadence and what have you. It's part of the developmental pattern or development, quintessential element for development, that is behavioral, the attitudinal change of the society, especially the younger generation. Do the families, or does the family come in this aspect to really shape the society generally through the child, just as the Honourable Minister said?
Yeah, you're right on point. The family is basically the epicenter of whatever we're doing, both at the grassroots level, at the local government level, at the state level, at the national level. Even globally, the family is the epicenter, and that is why the family values rights group have been crying on how they make sure they put this thing as a sanctity and it's untouchable. Now, because over time we're beginning to see erosion of values, even from the homes. Well, a lot of explanations have come around it, whether it could be academic driven, societal driven, financial driven, or economic pressure and all that. The point is, we are noticing gradually a complete erosion of values in our society. And that is because there is a problem in the family. But this should not be singled or we pinpoint that the women or our mothers are responsible for this. It is larger than what we're experiencing that our mothers. But on their own part, our mothers have done a great deal, because if not them holding us as a gum to glue up everything, I don't know where the society will look like. Because with the way we are moving, our mothers, our sisters, our wives have held on to see how they can hold the family as one entity. It's very clear you are coming from a family background. You see the passion when you do something that is strong, how your mother will weep. Even if she doesn't weep, she will be kneeling down and be praying for you. Please, my son, you do not do this, don't go this way, don't go. It's a natural phenomenon, it's something that is inherent in them. So the thing is, because of what we have experienced so far, it's also impacting them in some way, but we should not hold them responsible as being the main problem or why the erosion of values is in our family. It's everybody's problem, and it's something we've got to work together. So in a nutshell, the women, as you see it, still holds the house, still holds the family. Without the woman in the family, I don't think there's anywhere we can go to.
Yes. Well, let's discuss the women, getting out of the micro level, let me put it this way, the macro level of the society. Perhaps now you, as the current Minister of Women Affairs, do we see the Buhari administration has really laid a very good ground for you, especially on the economic point of view? We've been seeing Mr. Vice President going about the country discussing with the market women across the Federation, Trader Morning, Anchor Borrower Scheme, and so many things, the First Lady's program. And so you've been representing the First Lady and so many aspects of these. Could that be perhaps a platform for development that will guide your ministry, or your ministry will tally on, so that we attain the next level? How do you intend to utilize that?
Thank you very much. I'm going to work interministerially. The foundation has been laid. Mr. President is doing very well already, supporting women with credit facilities, because economic empowerment is key to every woman. And whatever the woman gains is for the family.
Yes.
Mr. President has gone a step further. The school feeding program is also another excellent program, and it has helped to garner improve the school enrollment, particularly in the north. We will take up the girl child education more seriously, and every girl, every child, be it a boy or a girl, is mandatory to be in school at least the first 9 years.
Yes.
Government has made plans, and government is ready to support and give free education to every Nigerian child. Women in agriculture, you know, a lot of women are farmers.
Yes.
We are going to work closely with the Minister of Agriculture to make sure we get farm implements for women. Women cooperative groups will get agric loans. Bank of Industry, we are going to work closely with the Ministry of Industry. We are going to work closely with the Ministry of Health.
Yes.
Women in health. Women's issues are multisectoral.
Yes.
And I'm going to run from one ministry to the other. I've already appealed to all my colleagues, and thank God we are blessed with very, very good team.
Yes, because
and they've all assured me that they are going to give me all the necessary support, because I can see that they are all family people.
Yes.
We have so many he for she in this cabinet.
Yes.
And
just
Mr.
like
President,
the doctor.
yes. And I'm blessed here with another he for she.
Yes.
And even you are a he for she.
Yes.
So now the awareness is increasing. I'm seeing more men speaking for women.
Yeah, why
they believe in
yes.
it, and they believe in the participation of women in national development. That is moving us a step further.
Yeah, Doctor, why I was reminding us that our ministry is really
multi-sectoral.
Multi-sectoral. It covers all aspects of the economy. This brings us to the issue of security attached to this moral decadence.
Exactly.
Lots of things that happens in our borders, in some states of the Federation, the killings in Waterview, abductions and so many things, abuse of the girl child.
Exactly.
You know, how do we inject that feeling of that milk of human kindness from the generality of the people to cooperate with the government towards eradicating that? Because it's not only the mother, not the mother that takes care of the child and train. The community, everybody should participate. How do we do that?
I think when you listen to the Honorable Minister, you can see she's espousing an enthusiasm, a very deep enthusiasm to see how she could develop a blueprint on how to marshal and work for the ministry. I like the passion, I like the commitment, and I'm also happy that she's been able to single out some people that work with her on the team.
Yes.
Yeah, the core end is, if you don't power the women, either at the family level or whatever level, you cannot get the best. Empower a woman and you get the best from any nation. Now, the security architecture of this country need to factor women. What we've done, we're having security architecture, have not really looked down to see how women will play significant role in trying to come in and get themselves involved actively on how to proactively work with the security apparatus and see how they can work and stop what is happening in society or minimize it. I think there's a need for the women ministry to look at that particular aspect. How do we go on now to engage the women, to look at the security side? What role will the women play from that grassroots level? What is it that they are not seeing that these women that are at the grassroots level are seeing? Because it is them that goes to the farm. It is them that go to the stream. It is them that even help in also helping to breed some of these animals.
And we have women in all these cases.
Exactly. So there are certain things that these women know that they know that we don't know. How can we engage them? How can we leverage on the knowledge they have? If we get these things and couple it up together and get it across to the ministry and also work with the security team, with the security architecture of this country, we can get more benefit from it. But by the time we begin not to factor them, by the time we not begin to engage them, we're going to lose a lot. So it's also an item that the Honorable Minister have to look into. How do we engage the women to also help us in curbing insecurity in this country?
Yes. Good. Well, you know, moment for thought is to tease out, you know, very hot issues that worries the society, or something that commendable to government and both the people. Talking about development, Mr. President, he kept on emphasizing. He gave you the mandate during your inauguration, and especially during the retreat. Mr. President said everybody should work. All hands will be put on deck. It is a great privilege, I'm quoting the President, for you to be called upon to serve in these great offices of state, and you must grasp the chance with both hands and put in your best efforts, as Nigeria today needs top managers to handle our numerous challenges. Managers, not just the ministers. You are the managers officially. You oversee your ministers. How the corporate entity you call Nigeria, we need managers to manage the economy, to manage the moral decadence and so many things. Control of AIDS, just as you are chairman. And of course, the issue of corruption. The challenge put to the ministers. Let me have you as the minister here to see how do you incorporate Nigerian hands altogether, the stakeholdership towards a better Nigeria, attaining the next level. So let's have it as the winding up.
Thank you very much. I'm sure you all know that the three cardinal points in Mr. President's agenda is security is number one.
Yes.
Fighting corruption.
And economy.
And the economy. And these three, every Nigerian must partake in it. Because Mr. President is not a magician. The governors, ministers, we are not magicians. All hands must be on deck. Just as Prof rightly said, the security aspect, which is key. Without security, we can't even be here. Without security, nobody can sleep.
Exactly.
You can do nothing if there's no security. So security is very, very important and vital, and it entails every Nigerian to partake in it, because the police need information from everybody within the community. If you see a criminal within your neighborhood, you must report to the police. If you see a strange fellow, whatever he's doing, you must report. So if every Nigerian is patriotic enough to engage in being vigilant and to ensure that the community, everybody is doing the right thing, no strange fellow, no strange things happening, then we will get it right. You can't solve security problem without the support and understanding of the community.
Yes.
Mothers especially, women are the greatest security chiefs. I call mothers as the greatest security chief. Take from creation. From pregnancy,
protection.
A mother secures the child in
That's
the womb
it.
for 9 months.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought of that? So that is the first security. We secure the pregnancy for 9 months.
That is the
child
citizen.
is in, yes. That citizen, when he's out after 9 months, the mother nurtured it, sleepless night for at least a minimum of 2 years.
Protection all the way.
All the way until
Up to
adulthood.
adulthood, okay.
In fact, even you now, as adults with your wives and children, if your mother is alive, you still behave a baby.
Yes,
Exactly.
definitely.
Because you still want to go and eat her soup, you still want to go and seek for her counsel and her blessing.
Yes.
So the role of mothers cannot be quantified.
Yes.
If we get it right, we must carry the women along.
Yes, doctor.
What a mother sees, the man doesn't see it.
Yes.
The mother's eyes is round. Round the head.
Like that of an owl.
Yes. If a child, children, take for example a big family with a population of about 9 children. If 2, 3 are fighting here, those behaving or misbehaving behind me, somehow is a divine instinct by God.
Yes.
We feel it and we react and respond to it. It's divine. That is a special gift from God.
Yes.
So if we tap all these gifts that God has specially given a woman,
Yes. Yes.
we'll get it right.
Yes. So how do we move the nation ahead towards the next level? All these various, she touched a very vital area, that is the security and all things, which begins even at home, even in the womb. Yes.
I think moving the country to the next level, or moving the country progressively forward, especially as you're coming from the perspective of the woman.
Yes.
I was a little bit disappointed when I saw the number of women that was appointed as ministers.
Don't be disappointed.
No,
According
personally,
to Aikim, by the way, he said, if the desirable is not available, the available becomes desirable.
Yes.
And it is desirable. So,
Yes.
So go ahead.
Yeah.
You have just 1 minute.
Okay. Well, since he has tried to up it by 1,
Yes,
we
yes.
commend him.
Yeah.
But generally, what we're asking is for us to move forward. We need to engage more women. As they are not in the elective positions now, we should see in the appointive positions, we get more women across board.
So decision making is very important.
Very, very crucial. Very, very crucial, because that will help to cement all that they have missed out in the elective positions.
Okay. Yes.
So in a nutshell, what we should do basically is all the biases, all the stereotypes, all the things that made the women not to work effectively to see how they can partake in nation building. We collectively, across all stakeholders, will have to work to see how we completely diminish it or encourage them to come out. Because what we have now is, if we don't get it right as other nations are doing, like Rwanda, like Kenya, South Africa, Senegal, Ghana, Ethiopia, global, you can see the movement of women trying to change things. Just look at it, even at the sports, all African games now. It is the women that are making Nigeria proud. They are cleaning up, they're taking up golds here and there. While the men are faltering, but the women are doing better.
You will soon mention Nigeria on that list.
Sure.
Yes. Thank you very much, Dr. Leonard Nzengwa, for
you very
your
much.
tremendous contribution, very beautiful for that matter, to this program. Honorable Minister for Women Affairs, thank you very much for coming on this program. We know you will bring to bear lots of experience in politics and governance, grassroots, and now women in development. Thank you very much for coming. Well, you've had it all on Moment for Thought. I am Aliyu Baba, but to close the discussion is just to say emancipation of the entire society requires the participation of all, not just the women folk. That has been Moment for Thought. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. Thank you.
NTA, you can't beat the reach.
This is the network service of the NTA.
Well, it was to join the army, but
so in the school, talking about I know
yes.
extracurricular activities,
yes.
games,
yes.
Club and societies. I don't know which of the clubs do
you see,
belong to?
There's a lot of discipline in the Kaduna Government College. You can't even if you pick a paper, you can't. If you come and cross it without picking it, it is an offense. You could punish.
That is punishable.
Punishable, because the entire environment of the school must be kept clean. So, in fact, you see, I belong to many clubs in the school. Particularly, in fact, my hobby is photography. In fact, we have a very strong photography club. And apparently, in fact, I became its president before 1964. Before I went, we used to have very good photographs. We have a dark room, we have everything. In fact, it was there.
Okay. So by your looking at your physical structure, it's suggestive of the fact that you could probably you were a victim of bullying in the school. Were you ever a victim of bullying by the much hefty?
No. There's a lot of discipline in the school. No senior will bully junior in the Kaduna Government College, because the high discipline, but all the prefects, the head boys, they control all the students below them. So we there's a lot of discipline. But hardly you can find someone bullying someone in the school.
And the food being served in the school?
Yes.
Was okay?
It
3
was
square
okay.
meters?
It was no complaint.
3 square meters?
3 square meters. 3 square meters. And not only that, in fact, the government used to have to give us uniform. In fact, soap even to wash your clothes, everything. So that's how, in fact, I finished my government college Kaduna with class certificate.
So the certificate you got from Government College Kaduna is what qualified you further to further your education to Kano College?
College, yes. In fact, it was a high school certificate. In fact, I was to read science subjects, but somehow, because I suffered a lot of duodenal ulcer pain, because
even at that age.
Even at that age, so in fact.
So it affected your studies?
It affected my studies because I was in the hospital for 6 months. 6 months before the doctor operated on me.
Even at that age?
But it was a big operation. So very, very, very intensive. In fact, 4 or 5 people were operated for the same duodenal ulcer.
In Kaduna or in Kano?
In Kano City Hospital.
From the same school?
Not from the same school.
Okay.
Yes, because I was the only one in the hospital. I spent 6 months in the hospital waiting for the operation to be done.
Which means your parents or somebody?
Nobody came.
From
only the principal in the school, when they used to come here just to see how I was faring.
Yeah.
Ultimately, in fact, after operating 6 people, all of them died. In fact, one of them was a student. In fact, he died. In fact, I was the one who alerted the nurses that he died. But when they say, I didn't fear.
You became terrified?
No. I allowed myself to be operated upon. They operated into the major operation. And then after 11 days, healing is from God. So I was discharged. And then went to Rumfa. I did my HSC in Rumfa for only 1 year, in a few months. But I succeeded in getting the HSC certificate, which qualified me for going to university.
Okay, so before we go to the university, share a little of the type of life you experienced in Rumfa College.
Well, in Rumfa College, you see, it was the class of HSC. And there was also proper discipline also there. This college. In fact, that was most of our to allow students to read and pass their examinations. Yes, I remember also to 1966 we were in college after the coup. You see, there was a lot of happenings in Kano when, in fact, Bonzi took the reign of power.
Yes.
And it was from Rumfa College that we organized demonstration. We called out, during the military, we called out all the students, even in the primary school. We went through Kano
to demonstrate
against the change of government.
Who mobilized you to?
It's from HSC. We are top class HSC. We met and then decided to, because there was a lot of
anger against.
Because at that time, if you go to the market, we'll show you a picture of this your father who have been killed. So
in the streets of Kano.
It was terrible. So that's, ultimately, there was riots all over the north. The rest is history.
It's history. Okay.
We started it. So was to give all the governors strength to really protest against the unitary government done by Rossi.
Okay. So Rumfa College, who and who were your school, your mates?
Well,
that you can recollect?
Many of them.
Like
I remember this is Abubakar Sadiq from Kano. He worked in Central Bank. He retired. And also Mutar Ahmed. He also worked in Central Bank. Retired. There's also Abubakar Rano. Also Aminu Bichi, who was at one time Commissioner of Education in Kano, but he's now deceased. So many of them. So many of them.
Okay.
Really.
So the certificate you got from Rumfa College qualify you to pursue university education in Zaria?
Yes.
Okay. I read in your CV that you obtained a Bachelor's of Law in Ahmadu Bello University.
Yes.
The viewer might be interested to hear from you. What influenced your decision to read law?
To read law.
Because you had so many options of going for maybe English, maybe going for history, maybe going for economics, political science, public administration, and others.
In fact, you see what happened after my HSC, I served in the university library, ABU, for a year. But then, my mission then was to go to England to read library science so that I can continue with ABU. But when I came to Congo campus of the university, I discovered that they are calling for those candidates who are interested in reading law to come for examination. But at that time, you can't read law unless you sit for the examination by the faculty board of the university and then go through interview to make sure that you are suitable for reading law.
For reading law.
So I went and then I sat for the examination. I passed. I failed the interview panel. In fact, the entire faculty of law said, they asked questions to determine that you are really interested in reading law. That you are also capable of doing so before admission. And only 25 of us
were admitted. Your mastery of English was good enough for you to face panel of interview.
You see, in this Cambridge West African School Certificate, I had credit in English language, credit in English literature, credit also in oral English. We could, at that time, you see, even for oral English in West African Cambridge School Certificate. So I mastered English properly before sitting for the examination, and I found suitable, and I was admitted. But I had a lot of challenges from the Ministry of Education then, because they wanted me to read geography.
When you say Ministry of Education?
Yes,
in the Northern Nigerian
Ministry of Education.
They wanted you to read?
To read geography.
Geography.
Because from secondary school up to HSC, the results of my geography was excellent all along. So they wanted me to be trained, to go to ABU, to read geography so that I take the academic line, because that's what they saw in me. So, but I refused. Even they threatened me that they will not even give me scholarship if I refused. But somehow they realized that, in fact, I've already sat for the examination, I passed, and I've been admitted. So they had to release me, to allow me to read law. That's how I found myself reading law, because I wanted it.
So I know law is of, I know law is of, there is Sharia law, there is common law, there is, I don't know.
Yes.
What is
so
your...
In fact, at that time in ABU, you read everything. All the common law and the Sharia law at the same time. All of us, in fact, including even the Southerners who are not even
including
Muslim.
Those people who are not Muslims?
Yes. Sharia law. Yes, it's part in the ABU at that time.
What was the wisdom behind having a non-Muslim read Sharia?
It's in order to knowledge of law. Don't confine yourself only to common law. Have interest also, read also the Islamic law to see, because it governs, you see, the lives of both Christians and Muslims in Nigeria. And that's why ABU, in fact, at that time, you must read Islamic law compulsory. You must read it.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm sure the viewer too here would like to hear from you some of your university mates.
Well, my university mates, so many of them are now late. You see, Solomon La, from Governor of Plateau State, was my classmate. He's also Gigi Golu, also from he's also from Plateau. He's my mate. And also there's Ladidi Gofwang. In fact, she was a wife of one Colonel Wali, I think. Well, she was also our classmate. So Ali Eri, this former administrator of the National Judicial Institute, was also my classmate.
So how was life in ABU as a young student?
It was well, honestly, we have been in. We read and then we have been interacting very closely with all.
You were like a family.
Yes, like a family. Yes, like a family. You see, the present ambassador of Nigeria in Saudi Arabia, Isa Dodo. See, we are neighbors. His room is number 34. I'm number 33 in hostel 3.
Which means you are.
Yes,
you were admitted together.
Yes, he read law also. So many. The fact, you see, after what they call Bulgaria is the allowances paid to students. If they pay us, there are a lot of some of us. In fact, there was one chief student who opened his door, put stone, leave it open. He will go out. So don't look for him. If you come, he's no more. So very, very cordial. In fact, we enjoyed our life in the university and belonged to so many clubs. It was really good time in the university.
Okay. You were supposed to spend how many years in ABU?
3 years.
3 years?
3 years.
At the expiration of the 3 years, yes, you were a graduate of law?
Graduate of law, LLB degree. That's what happened. In fact, so Solomon La, Justice, well, so many of us, they have all gone, they are dead. In fact, this one from Kazaure is also dead.
So going from, so after you obtained the certificate of or Bachelor's of Law in Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria,
yes, you
went to the law school?
I went to the Nigerian law school. Then it was only one campus. It was in Lagos. And that year, you see, it was the end of the Civil War. You know, Nigerian Civil War came to an end in 1970. So it was there also we graduated. So many Southerners who read law in the UK and other countries came back to Nigeria to join the Nigerian law school. So in fact, the school was fully engaged with students who can now come to.
Who came from abroad?
Abroad, because at that time the war had ended, so the opportunity is to read law and pass for the BL.
Okay.
Yes.
So probably your first trip, to cross River Niger.
Yes, it was.
It was. How was that?
It was an experience. You see, I've never gone to Lagos for anything, but all of us from the north, we used to travel by train. We all converged in Kaduna and then travel to Lagos. But, no.
How many days?
Sometimes 2 days before train reach Lagos. So it was a very Herculean task, you see, to read at that time. But most of us coming from the north, people they identified. In fact, all of us passed. All of us. But they think those Southerners, they because some of us really enjoy themselves, not eating, drinking and so on. But all of them, they are saying that those, they speak Yoruba, that those from the highlands, they are wasting their time, they will not even pass. By grace of God, it's all of us passed the examination. In fact, Northerners, yes. In fact, we entered the train from Kaduna to Lagos because all of us were fully confident that we would pass. It was in London that we bought Daily Times, where the results were published. We read,
Your names were there?
The names were there. So we proceeded to Lagos. Because we have absolute confidence that we'll pass.
And you passed?
We passed. And that's how we were called to the bar in 1971.
So what followed after that?
Well,
after the Nigerian Law School experience in Lagos?
After the law school experience, you see, I went back to my state, northeastern state then. It was Maiduguri. So I went, I joined the Ministry of Justice as a People's State Council. And there, in fact, I started going to court. At that time, President Emir of Ilorin, Ibrahim Sulu Gambari, was a senior state counsel in the ministry. So in fact, he was the one who took me to court for the first time. So he was our leader in the prosecution department of the Ministry of Justice. And I learned a lot from him.
Do you still relate with him?
We do, honestly. We do. Because it's hard working. When he was in the Court of Appeal, even judgments, sometimes no time wasted. He will bring his car, we will travel in the writing judgment. That is the dedication.
So it marked the beginning of your career in
the legal profession.
In the legal profession.
Yes.
Wow.
Honestly, and at that time in my Maiduguri, we work harmoniously. And then, in fact, sometimes if I have a case in Mubi, in fact, I used to leave Maiduguri 3 a.m. I drive to Pulka, to Goza, to Mubi.
You drive yourself?
Alone in my car.
The viewer might be interested to hear from you. The first salary as a public servant.
Oh, well, it was at that time. The salary was £60. So in fact, it was great. In fact, at that time, in fact, as soon as we finished, they will give you a car. I have a car, and I have my.
At what age? What was your age?
I was 23.
23. Which means when you obtained Bachelor's of Law in Zaria, how old were you?
In fact, 2021. Yes.
You obtained law school at the age of 22?
Yes.
A certificate. Okay. By 23, you had your first car?
Yes, already. And as soon as we are employed, you see, you go to Ministry of Finance, then fill the form, and then next day, they send the money to J. Allen or UTC to go and pay the car. That's what was happening, honestly. So everything was smooth. And then going to court.
So the first day you drove your what? How happy
Congratulations. Yes. I could make it. Yes.
Viewer, if you are just joining us, the program is Reflections, and I said in the beginning, our guest is retired Chief Justice of Nigeria, Mohammed Mahmoud. Sir, before the break, you were telling the viewer, rather you were sharing with the viewer your experience as a legal officer in Maiduguri, the capital of the then
northeastern
state. So, in the course of time, Gongola state was created.
Yes.
So, which means naturally you were transferred to Gongola
state.
Gongola. Okay.
Yes, that was happened.
Okay. So, what was the experience?
You see, the experience, starting with the Maiduguri, where in fact I started. You see, I have very vigorous training. In fact, I remember I was saddled with the responsibility of pursuing insurance claim of those northeastern state pilgrims who died at Kano, the airport disaster at the time. In fact, I've been shuttling from Maiduguri to Lagos to go and represent the state in securing the benefits of those who died. And that's where, in fact, obtained my experience in that.
Okay. Okay, sir, you are the product of a culture and a religion that encourages a person to get married, or rather to join the family line at every, maybe between the ages of 20 to 30. What is your story?
Well, you see, when I was in Maiduguri, in fact, 1972 or 73, I was then unmarried. But you see, my family, they tried to that I should marry before even going to the university. I refused until after my education.
Because you said you lost your father at a very early age.
At a very young age.
But your mom,
my
mother
was alive.
Okay.
So that's why, in fact, 1971, 72, I got married. But my wife, who is now deceased, in fact, I've never seen her. Typical Fulani, tells her. I've never seen her. It was only, in fact, when they finished everything, they brought her to my house in Maiduguri.
It was arranged?
It was arranged at home. I've never seen her physically.
And you accepted it
that
way?
Yes, because from parents, because obey your parents. Then the rest is history.
They took her to Maiduguri?
To Maiduguri. In fact, before she died, she had more than 10 children for me. So that's why, in fact, Fulanis, you want to obey you see, elders. So that you don't, if you do, honestly, all you want will just come straight to you.
Sir, I read in your CV that you were made a justice of the Court of Appeal in 1992.
1992, yes.
How did it happen?
Well, you see, even when we were in Gongola State, there was occasion which, in fact, I acted as acting Chief Judge of the state for 1 year, 1988 to 1989. So then I really felt myself exposed to various institutions, like the Advisory Judicial Committee in Lagos, where in fact judges are appointed. I participated in it. And then after that, when in fact Taraba State was created out of Gongola State, it was then that I moved to Jalingo, capital of Taraba State, to set up a new judiciary there.
For
that's
the
what
state.
I did for the state. And that's what I did. And I did
You are the pioneer chief judge
of Taraba State. But somehow, because my ambition was not to remain in the judiciary of state. So after less than 1 year, I got a phone call from late Justice Akambi, who was the
then president
of the Court of Appeal. He asked me, Mahmoud, please come to the Court of Appeal. Then I asked, oh, my lord, I can come, but no, please give me time. He said, just whenever you are ready to come, just ask any of your colleagues, chief judges of various states, to recommend you. And that's what happened. After less than 1 year, the chief judge of my state, I was appointed justice of the Court of Appeal in Court of Appeal.
Which division?
Well, I was posted to Kaduna Division. That's why I remained for about 5 years. And then after that, I was posted to Benin, despite the fact that I lobbied. The president said, please, Oga, don't take me to Benin. I'm afraid about the situation there. So he said, okay, Mahmoud, it is to Benin that I'm posting you. So go and prepare, go and report. But happily, in fact, I enjoyed my stay in Benin. In fact, all the cases, it was very heavy division.
So what happened to your family then?
Well,
the movement from Kaduna,
movement. My family, in fact, I was ignorant of the situation, what happened in the Court of Appeal. I thought if you're posted to a division, you remain there until you move to the Supreme Court. So I collected all my children and my wives, too, and then we posted back to Kaduna. It was after that I realized, in fact, posting can be done so that we posted to Ibadan anywhere.
So you stationed the family in one place?
In one place. That's what happened.
Which is Kaduna
in
or
Kaduna?
Jalungu?
In Kaduna.
Oh, okay,
In Kaduna. Because all my children there were going to Army primary school in Ribadu Cantonment. So I left them there. I couldn't to serve in Benin. And then after that, I could go back to Kaduna. And after that, I was sent back to Enugu. That's how I've been doing in the Court of Appeal. At that time, you see, even cars were not available in the Court of Appeal. I had to, in fact, use my own car after 6 months before we got another vehicle.
An official before
official
you
vehicle. So it was huge sacrifice. In fact, my wife was controlling bitterly. You said coming to the court of a promotion, but we have not seen it in the actual reality.
Being translated.
Because when you are chief judge of your state, we have so many things in the house, and then you come to the court of appeal, and then even a car will not have. Yeah, this is not a promotion. This is hard to explain. This is what happened.
You kept on pacifying them that
yes,
things will get better.
Better.
And they got better.
They got better, ultimately. Yes.
Okay, so and later in life you were made a Supreme Court judge, to be precise, on 8th of June 2005.
Yes.
What do you know about that?
Well, you see, by coming to the justice of the Supreme Court, you see, so many there have been so many stumbling blocks, because at that time, northeast, the northeast zone was not represented at all in the Supreme Court.
In the Supreme Court.
In the Supreme Court, since late Bubar left in 1978. So, because of a lot of policy in the judiciary, in fact, the northeastern state was not represented until 2005, from 1978 until 2005, when I was sort of appointed. So at one time, in fact, there was appointment in 1998, the Supreme Court. Apparently, so I was the only one still from the northeast, but somehow I was recommended, but somehow something happened, and then myself and late Ahiro Mustafa were dropped in place of others from the south, because they said some of us in the north were too many. Supreme Court.
In the Supreme Court.
In the Supreme Court. So there has to be balancing, what they call it. And that's why myself and Justice Ahiro Mustafa were dropped in that year, 1998. And later on, Ahiro Mustafa was appointed in 2002, and now I was appointed 2005. So this is what happened.
And then the big one, when you became Chief Justice of the Federation, sir, were you expecting it?
Well, see, I was expecting it because the hierarchy, because it has been established long time, since colonial days. You see, if Chief Justice of Nigeria retires,
the
person next to him
automatically becomes.
Automatically. This is done, I believe, in order, you see, to prevent possibility of lobbying for the post. It's only those really competent, and also served for a number of years with credible records that are appointed. There is no point, you see, asking someone to come from outside. So that's why. So I was expecting it because I was.
But I know there have been calls for outsiders to have equal opportunity with those already in the line.
In the line.
I don't know.
Yes, you see, the provisions are there because of the National Judicial Council appointment regulations are there. They have given every legal practitioner who above 15 years of code, this is to be appointed. It's just the Justice of the Supreme Court, even the Chief Justice of Nigeria. But you see, the problem is, you see, judging itself is an art. If you are not being in it for a long time, learning through the process, then it's very difficult. For one to be plucked outside, to come and join the Supreme Court without even any background of decision he made, judgments he delivered from the High Court to the Court of Appeal before coming to the Supreme Court. That's the problem. If it will be open to, even now, it is open to any legal practitioner. But you must show a record of really done well in whatever practice you are doing. But the aspect of integrity. That's what will be difficult for anyone coming from outside.
Okay.
Because integrity have to be proved in number of years. When you are High Court judge, when you are in the Court of Appeal, because if it is then, only then, that integrity of candidate will be really proved. But otherwise, there may be nothing coming from outside. There may be nothing to put on the scale, other than you have been practicing in the courts, prosecuting this case, prosecuting that case. And that's the problem.
Okay. Yes. Okay, sir. I'm sure the viewer would like to hear from you the challenges you had, or rather you faced, as Chief Justice of the Federation within the period.
There are many.
Like
you see, it was at the time, you see, this issue of the Justice of the Supreme Court, their houses were attacked and so on, because there were accusations that they have taken money from France and so on and so on. So all, you see, I was terribly disturbed. As Chief Justice of Nigeria, they should to have judges of the Supreme houses raided, and then it will be taken away.
Okay, sir. Then I'm sure you equally have your highest point. I mean, what you personally termed as your greatest achievement as Chief Justice of the Federation.
My main achievement was that I left the judiciary intact.
Okay. Sir, I don't know whether you read it yourself. A justice owner of the courts, who is now in the Court of Appeal, was quoted crying over the workload on judges in Nigeria,
yes,
which he said is far below international standard.
Yes.
Where is he coming from?
You see, workload in the judiciary, there's a lot of it. And you see, most of the complaint vary from court to court. But definitely, if you can hardly find congestion, some of the high courts who are really working properly. But in the Court of Appeal, sometimes it's choked up by so many cases which ought not be filed in the Court of Appeal. Similarly, also, you see, very frivolous cases used to go to the Supreme Court also, which is not proper as far as I'm concerned. Because we attempted to have the Supreme Court, the Constitution amended to allow only appeals, very few appeals, on pure law and constitutional matters to go to the Supreme Court.
Okay.
But we have not succeeded in doing that.
But just, I think, this week,
yes,
somebody was quoted saying that if he had the opportunity of becoming Attorney General of the Federation,
yes,
he will make sure the Supreme Court is unbundled.
Unbundled, yes, that language is used. But this view, we respect. There is a lot of ignorance in how really Supreme Court operates in every country in Nigeria, including Nigeria. Now, if abandoning, including that, all geopolitical zones, 6 political will have a Supreme Court of their own, then, in fact, the country has ceased to exist. There will be no more Supreme Court to cover the entire country then. If you decentralize, only the zones, every appeal will end up there.
But maybe, sir, he was coming from the fact that the Supreme Court, as it is right now, is overwhelmed.
Yes, in fact, there are a lot of cases. I agree. A lot of cases. All these, they are trying their best. They are trying their best to reduce the volume of cases pending. But it is all happened because of incessant. You see, lawyers are impatient. You see, they want money. They pursue cases which are frivolous, which are useless. All of them because of the provision of the Constitution that, yes, I'm a citizen of Nigeria, I will appeal of a right. Because it will go. So, in fact, the cases will continue to pile up unnecessarily. Because I remember there was a case which I presided in the appeal. It is a debt of 20,000 naira from Kaduna State. what kind of behavior is this?
Okay.
You see, what is causing congestion in the Supreme Court?
Okay. Sir, I don't know. Maybe you can educate the viewers, sir.
Yes.
National interest and personal interest in the dispensation of justice.
Dispensation of justice.
Yes.
Well, you see, there is a decision of the Supreme Court which was given, in fact, while I was in the Supreme Court, that you see, this issue of national interest or individual interest, you see, as far as you see the law is concerned, you see, once you see public interest is something which, if care is not taken, may destroy the country. It destroy the country. So that is why the Supreme Court, whatever decision, must take care, take very careful, so that it doesn't sacrifice sort of public interest at the expense of private interest of single individual. So that is what is the case. Honestly, otherwise, the Supreme Court is working very well as far as I'm concerned, which are left. They are still working. And the matter of amending the Constitution to allow Supreme Court to decide which cables to capture.
Okay, sir. I don't know. You know, there is every reason to believe that Nigerians are putting the blame on the judiciary, on the corruption that is still ravaging the country, that the judicial arm of the government is not doing what it is supposed to be doing, so that, you know, deterrence,
yes,
which is meant to be served.
You see, they blame that the judiciary is not doing enough to deal with particularly these corruption cases. You see, the fact is, the prosecution of those cases lies entirely on the government, on the Ministry of Justice, also or in the UFCs, whatever it is. Unless there is a firm commitment of lawyers to pursue these cases in the court, there will be little the judiciary can do. The judges are there. In fact, since I was there, we designated so many high courts where, in fact, this cases could be taken to and heard. But there is little movement. So they continue to be adjourned here. Sometimes up to 10 years, a case is pending. You see, a judge will not decide a case on his own. There must be, the prosecutor must come and prove his case. And in such cases, that is why, in fact, there is judicial policy that such corruption cases, there is no way the court will decide acquitted because the prosecution refused to come. No, it must be, the case must be prosecuted. If you are guilty, you are guilty. You're convicted. If you are not guilty, then you will be discharged acquitted. But for the cases, the remaining, the fact that they still remain in the various courts is not the fault of the judiciary. It is the fault of those who will come and prosecute. Because I remember when, in fact, when I was even a senior state counsel, sometimes incentive, we decongest this prison, we go and discongest that prison. And that's what we have been doing when we were in the Ministry of Justice serving. But now happen, even sometimes Attorney General would giving some of the private legal petitions to prosecute. But all the same, the cases are not moving. That's beyond what the judiciary can do, because the judges are there to prosecute, come and prosecute. Sometimes if I feel bitter. Some of these cases, judge will come and sit down, and then prosecutor will say, "Well, I'm not ready. I have my." It doesn't happen that way.
So, sir, in such a situation, what role the regulatory bodies are they supposed to play?
Well, you see, as far as the courts are concerned, all have made many rules which must fast-track the hearing of these cases. But it is left to the prosecution to come in and take advantage of this. And that is what is not happening. Because if I'm concerned, a case of, for example, culpable homicide or murder, it may not take a week or two, it is finished. But in the cases of armed robbery, you find that a lot of witnesses are there. The victims are there. Come and prosecute them. But they will be lying there, spending sometimes 10 years awaiting trial in prison.
Before a case is disposed of.
Before a case is taken to court. It is very sad.
Now, sir, second to the last question. Yes. If you are to be given another opportunity of becoming Nigeria's Chief Justice.
It is a very difficult question, but there it is. I've left a lot of sort of policies, in the judicial policies, which are in the currently being implemented. You see, some of the cases, if the Office of the Attorney General and Office of the Attorney General of the state, they should put their heads together to make sure that, you see, cases which are sensitive in nature, which are corruption cases, there must be given priority in the hearing. I had so many people calling for special courts to try them and so on. No, it is not the special that is required. But the case, the judges are there. Some of them, in fact, if there is cases before them, put down the other case. Continue this case on corruption. Doctor, is it good to drink water while eating? And if not, when is the best time range to drink water after each meal? And 3 questions, is it also good to drink tea while eating? So first, is it good to drink water while eating? If it's not, how long after eating? And drink tea while eating.
Okay. Well, I thought you were going to ask me first what is if I'm obese.
Nobody needs to ask you. I'm sure the way you're under 18. You're probably underweight.
Yeah. Anyway, a good question. There are no fast and hard rules as to when you want to drink water while taking a meal. But however, some school of thought feels that, we don't want to dilute the digestive juice already in the stomach. Okay. So it may affect digestion, but there is no cause for alarm or to be worried about that.
How about
some
tea?
Persons, come again?
Drinking tea.
Tea is water now. What makes tea is water, you know. Okay. Actually, 90% of the tea is water. Okay. So it's same thing as water. So, but you could take, some people find the habit of taking a cup of water 30 minutes before meal or about an hour after meal. But not everyone can do that. If you are eating, for instance, akpu, for instance, would you wait for 1 hour before you take that? Okay. The water actually aids digestion. It does not harm it. So your digestions will take place as it should be, and whether you take water before or after there are no fast and hard. Yeah, you could actually take while you are eating or after or before.
Okay. Okay. Next question. It says, why is it compulsory for a pregnant woman to visit a clinic for a checkup before birth? Is it just to check the gender of a baby? Secondly, what advice can you give to a pregnant woman before and after delivery?
Okay. A very good question too. It is not just about the gender, the sex of a baby. That is not why you go to hospital or start your antenatal. A lot of things. First, in your early pregnancies, they want to find out, is it a risk pregnancy? Or you are pregnant. Is the pregnancy in the uterus? Is it where it ought to be? Or is it outside the uterus? So it is when you go to the hospital that they determine that. Now, do you know a lot of things that shouldn't happens because people refuse to register their presence or their pregnancy in the hospital. Take, for instance, you see spinal bifida. When a child, when he has it, cannot walk later. Just take, consumption of antenatal drug as simple as folic acid.
Wow.
That is less than 1 naira.
Changes.
Yeah, so you don't go. That child that would not work would have worked. So when you go to the register your pregnancy, a lot of things will be determined. First, is it a risk pregnancy? Is the pregnancy in the uterus? Now, the drugs you are supposed to take, they would help you determine that. And so many other things. Is your sugar going up? Is your blood pressure going up? Those things you determine
right from the beginning. So
And you know, I think for a lot of people, consider it expensive. No, amazingly not. It's not.
Primary
Even
health
yes,
centers,
and even the
can
things
do a
they
lot of
tell you
things.
to buy
Yeah,
or
they are not
whatever, they're so
expensive.
cheap. But
Yeah.
people just think, please. So it's always good.
Yeah, I asked
always
of
good.
after delivery.
Yes.
After delivery.
Why should she go after delivery?
Yeah, you should go. You know, you are still under that care after before 6 weeks. So 6 weeks after delivery, then you could be seeing other doctors, other health workers. But within that period of time, something can still happen to you or the baby. So you need to go see your doctor.
See your doctor. Okay, this one says, good morning, doc. Please, at what month is it good or expected for a baby to sit? Okay, every mother wants to know this one.
That, yeah, it's a cause of concern. We've on this program discussed developmental milestones. For the sitting specifically, by 4 months, the child should be making an attempt to sit on its own or supported at least. Between 4, 5, 6, by 7 months, it should be able to sit on its own for some minutes.
Without support?
Without support. Then by the 8, 9 months, you should be able to sit without support for as long as the child wants to sit. But before then, you see the child manipulating, lying down, move like this, turn over. Yes, those are signs that I want to do things on my own. Yeah.
So if your child is 9 months and is not sitting without support, then you should see the doctor?
Yeah, you should seek help, seek a pediatrician, and they will know if it's normal or it's just trying to delay it a little bit. And of that, yeah.
Okay. All right. Our next one says, I'm Jack from Kaduna. My wife and I are having toilet infection and she is breastfeeding. How do we treat it?
Yeah, toilet infection. Did he drink water from the toilet?
Well,
it's actually referring to urinary tract infection, I'm sure. When you have an infection, you should go and seek treatment. You need to do tests. They will tell you which of the drugs are sensitive to that organism. And then, because as long as you keep having sex untreated, you are likely to develop resistant strains.
Okay.
So go see doctor, and it has no relationship with breastfeeding. So your child is safe. Whatever your child is taking is safe from the breast.
But you must get treated.
Yeah,
it's so important.
Should be treated.
Okay, the last one we're going to take today. It says, hello, why is it that I have a discharge after sex?
You have an infection.
Oh, wow, that's so straight.
Yeah, you have an infection.
Okay.
So if you know, these are the things. Sometimes, because they are private, they say private parts, people don't want to talk about them. But we appreciate the fact that he's asking us.
Yes.
When you have a discharge, then there is a problem. You know one thing about STDs, sexually transmitted diseases, and UTI, for the male, is almost immediately you start having painful urination, or you want to quickly see the doctor. For the female, before they start having pains,
it's really gone.
Yeah, it has ascended down up to the uterus, to the ovaries, and all of that, and that can be bad. So once you noticed anything like that, it's not part of you. Please go seek help, and you feel better.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Doc. Thank you so much for answering all our questions, and we'll see you again next week to answer more questions. Keep your questions coming in. Dr. Clemens is always happy to. I'm telling you, he takes this very personal. He's always happy to answer all your questions. And thank you, of course, for all your comments. We'll take a short break. When we come back, it's still a bit more on mother care. Do stay with us.
Tobacco products are made up of entirely or partly leaf tobacco as raw material, which are intended to be smoked, sucked, chewed, or snuffed. It contains the highly addictive psychoactive ingredient called nicotine. The harmful effects of tobacco do not end with the user, as there is no safe level of exposure to secondhand tobacco smokers. Secondhand smoke is a smoke that fills restaurants, offices, or other enclosed spaces when people burn tobacco products such as cigarettes. Tobacco use is one of the main risk factors for a number of chronic diseases, which include cancer, lung diseases, and cardiovascular diseases. Despite this, it is common throughout the world. The tobacco epidemic is one of the biggest public health threats the world has ever faced, killing more than 8 million people a year. In previous years, 2.5 million deaths have occurred among non-smokers who died from diseases caused by secondhand smoke exposure. Is it possible to quit the use of tobacco? Yes, one can quit. Mass media campaigns can also help to reduce tobacco consumption by convincing people to stop the use of tobacco and influencing people to protect non-smokers. When you quit smoking, you gain health benefits such as improved lung function, improved circulation, and a new confidence to live a tobacco-free life.
And that's been the show today. We do hope you had a lot of information on our topic of obesity. I learned something a couple of days ago on how to view your plate when you're eating. Divide your plate into 4 halves, 4 quarters. So half, that's 2 of the quarters, should be veggies. Then the other 2 quarters, the first quarter should be carbs and the other quarter protein. So anytime you're eating, ensure that you have half of it veggies, a quarter carbohydrates, and the other quarter protein. That way you maintain a healthier lifestyle, which is very important in our own environment where carbs are really big on our menus. But at the same time, veggies are also big on our menus. So look at your plate like that, and hopefully you have a healthier lifestyle. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. We'll be back same time, same station next week. Till then, to every mom out there, I always say, being a mom, best job in the world. Thanks for watching.
Bayelsa is a state of immense and varying cultures. This is, in turn, handed over from one generation to another. Some of their cultural practices and conventions are often dictated by the environment. The Ijaw people of Bayelsa State are predominantly fishermen with their lives revolving around water. No. It is easy to assume that living along riverbanks predisposes them to be natural swimmers. The truth is that infants in Bayelsa State are prepared for the challenges of life on water early in life through immersion. This is usually done by the mother, father, or sibling.
I have to taught her from this little stage so that she can learn from others. When she comes from the water side, she cannot be afraid of the water, none of the environment.
When we carry our children, they come water. As the baby small, we dey carry and they come water. Men they come they swim for small. As they drop am for water like that, so that the baby go learn how to swim and the baby no go fear river. How olden days time, children go swim, even though they conversate for river, then go swim because they need the loss because they sabi swim. But nowadays children, as the mother The few one when the mothers they carry the land, then sabi how to swim. The one when they come river now, if they enter water now, they don't lose. That is why we dey learn our children to swim.
At what age?
Nigeria, the giant of Africa, covers a total land area of about 923,768 square kilometers. 910,768 square kilometers is covered by land, while water takes the remaining 13,000 square kilometers. The entire country is highly blessed as it enjoys benefits brought by the vegetation zones that nature has gracefully endowed Nigeria with. From the rainforest, freshwater swamp, Guinea savanna, Sudan savanna to Sahel savanna, Nigeria is indeed on top of the world. Also blessed with enormous tourism potentials, unequaled deposits of mineral resources, and vast land for agricultural practices of choice, Nigeria is open for investment. All these are accompanied by a wonderful and hospitable people of diverse and charming cultures. Come and invest in Nigeria.
Hear the call of change. Stand up, Nigeria. Change is here and it's going to stay. Change begins with you. Oh yeah, make we go. Go to so let the change begin from within. Look at you, oh Geruola. Change begins with you and me. Change begins with me. Change begins with me. Change begins with me.
Very good Sunday evening from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Welcome to the News on NT International. I am Musbao and Wahab. Let's see the headlines. Troops and security agencies get renewed marching order to end terrorism in northeast and criminality in other parts of the country. Nigeria on track to boost smoked fish production for export with upgraded facilities. British government to provide more technical support to environmental remediation project in Ogoniland. Thanks a lot for staying tuned in. President Muhammadu Buhari is back in Abuja after a successful outing of the 7th International Conference on African Development in Yokohama, Japan. President Buhari arrived in Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport at about 11:30 Saturday evening. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that the president was accompanied to the week-long engagement by the governors of Borno, Kwara and Lagos State. He was received on arrival by Minister of Federal Capital Territory Mohammed Musa Bello, Chief of Staff to the President Abba Kyari, and the Japanese embassy officials led by Japan Ambassador to Nigeria. Others were the Inspector General of Police Mohammed Adamu, Director General of the Department of State Services Yusuf Magaji Bichi, and other senior government officials. Foreign Affairs Minister Jeffrey Onyama described the visit to Japan as a worthwhile undertaking.
The major takeaways are that Nigeria has been a part of shaping the next 3 years of TCAD, and so is in a very good position to get some of the investments that the Japanese government are going to put into TCAD. So that's obviously the main reason for being here. The second takeaway will be that he has established personal relations with the new president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, and of course South Africa and xenophobia, a huge source of interest for Nigerians at the moment. So he's laid the framework to be able to address these issues on October 3rd when he'll be in South Africa. The third takeaway will be his meeting with the president of Benin, where essentially he's making it clear that we cannot accept that the huge scale of smuggling that's taking place into Nigeria, which is compromising Mr. President's agricultural policy. And I think that the fact that it's now being addressed at the highest possible level will mean that the political will that is required, especially in Benin, will hopefully now be exercised. A fourth takeaway would be the promotion of foreign direct investment. The Japanese Bank for International Cooperation has huge financial resources, and it gives us an added option. Of course, we know that the Chinese are investing a lot in Nigeria and are involved very much in the especially infrastructure development in the country, but it's always good to have different options, which is precisely what you need when your debt levels are reasonably high.
Apart from participating at a conference with the theme Advancing Africa's Development Through People, Technology and Innovation, President Buhari also engaged several other heads of states and governments, private industrial concerns, as well as financial institutions on areas of collaboration and cooperation with Nigeria. Now, the federal government is set to improve the welfare and logistics of officers and soldiers in the ongoing counterinsurgency operations in northeast Nigeria. Minister of Defense Bashir Magashi announced this in Maiduguri while addressing officers and members of the Borno Elders Forum at a dinner organized in his honor by the Nigerian Army. It disclosed that President Muhammadu Buhari has issued marching order for an end to terrorism in the region and stem criminality in other parts of the country.
We will take the whole to them. The Commander-in-Chief is willing to take their welfare and motivation more seriously than ever before. We will also make sure that the entitlement of officers and soldiers are promptly paid. Those who died, their pension and gratuities are well taken care of.
The members of the Borno Elders Forum would like to see a much closer relationship to quickly conclude the remnants of the vestiges of the threat that we've been facing across the Borno State as well as the Northeast.
We are ready to help in our capacity as elders so that you will be on top of this crisis.
Still on security, the Air Task Force of the Nigerian Air Force Operation Lafia Dole Saturday neutralized Boko Haram terrorists during an airstrikes at USC in Borno State. The air raid is a continuation of Operation Green Sweep 3 after intelligence reports corroborated by surveillance and reconnaissance missions confirmed the settlement as hideouts for the Boko Haram terrorists. Director of Public Relations and Information of the Nigerian Air Force, Air Commodore Ibikunle Daramola, in an official statement says 2 Alpha jets and an L-39ZA aircraft were deployed for the operation. The statement adds that several Boko Haram terrorists were seen attempting to flee while many others concealed themselves in structures and vegetation in the area. It assures that the Nigerian Air Force, in concert with surface forces, will sustain the onslaught against the terrorists in the northeast. The Police Service Commission says it will take a decision on the recruitment of 10,000 Nigerians into the constable cadre of the Nigeria Police Force this week. The planned exercise, which is currently at its final stage, was put on hold on the 30th of August 2019 by the Commission. An official statement by the Commission's Head of Press and Public Relations, Ikechukwu Ani, assures applicants that the exercise will be concluded soon and names of successful candidates released. Date for medical screening for successful candidates from the aptitude test held on August 3rd, 2019 will be announced after the meeting. The Commission says it will continue to carry the Nigeria Police Force and other stakeholders in the police sector along in this very important presidential assignment and will ensure that the exercise remains merit-driven, transparent and according to the laws and rules and regulations guiding the public service. Applicants are advised not to panic or be agitated as the exercise is under control and in progress. Now, there are individuals that health experts say will stop at nothing in trying out new ways of intoxication, damning the consequences just to become high and feel good. Thus, talking about people that abuse drugs now. Much as this has been a source of concern to the society, and efforts are on to curb the abuse, a new trend is observed recently by pharmacists and others who deal on pharmaceuticals. Chimdima Ndubisi has been digging in on that.
Before now, the story was that many, including women, were abusing codeine-containing cough syrups and some pain relief medications. This led to the federal government's ban on manufacture, importation, distribution and sales of such products. With that, regulatory agencies swung into action to mop up the supplies already in circulation. Now, we hear of a whole new trend in the drug abuse story. Pharmacist Uche Enwere tells me he's been noticing a high demand on some brands of blood tonic, with an individual purchasing more than 2 bottles. Some even drink up these bottles at once within the pharmacy store, whereas the prescribed dosages are 1 tablespoonful for adults and 1 teaspoonful for children daily.
I just discovered that in Abuja, all these things are just on the increase. Some of them are elixirs, medication that contains alcohol or ethanol.
Ethanol is a classical solvent used in drug preparation, and some blood tonic actually contain as much as 13.5 grams per volume.
What these people who gulp bottles upon bottles of these blood tonics do not know is that they are endangering their vital organs. This is besides the mental health and social issues it poses, so says health experts.
Can, affect your intelligence, your IQ, the way you reason, your sense of judgment.
It depresses your central nervous system, and also on continuous consumption, you could have cardiac problems, you could have problems with the kidneys and livers.
Chronic use would lead to dependence, and that is addiction. Can cause depression, it can cause anxiety, it can function like cannabis, and so it's psychoactive. It can actually cause paranoia, and paranoia is a symptom of psychosis. It can enhance criminality.
It is not just blood tonic that is the issue here. Further investigations reveal that even children's cough syrup is being abused, prompting many to advocate immediate tackling of this new trend of what they call social evil.
At the home front, parents should monitor their children as much as possible.
The religious institutions too have to play, some roles in it to stop this.
For pharmacist Christian, outright ban of this product is not the solution. Rather, reduction or substitution of the solvent in question in blood tonics. He also wants pharmacists, as a matter of ethical practice, to monitor the drugs being abused and report to drug control agencies, and at the same time self-regulate sales of such products. In Abuja, Chimdema Ndubisi, NTA News.
Thanks a lot, Chimdima, for the enlightenment there. Now, moving on, the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations is supporting Nigeria to boost smoked fish production for export. Musa Babaliu has an update.
Nigeria has a total fish production output of more than 1 million tons per annum. Majority of the fish is consumed domestically, where about 20% is exported. The records of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture indicate that about 1 million people work in the fish industry.
Then the total aquaculture production is just 3.13,281 tons. Then the revenue generated from the department in 2018 was 487 million naira.
Dry fish, also known as smoked fish business, is more attractive not only to the Nigerian market but also across West Africa and Europe. For instance, Nigeria alone exports about 5 tons of smoked fish to the United Kingdom monthly, worth more than $1 million.
The dry fish come in from Maiduguri, Adamawa, Kebbi, Kogi. These are all the areas you have the River Niger and the River Benue. And they process a lot of fish here, especially in the Borno aspect, the Lake Chad area.
So I visited Kado Fish Market in Abuja, where I met Safia, Abu and Rose Ogede smoking and drying their fish and getting them ready for market. They told me that the process is tedious as they have to endure with the smoke getting into their eyes coupled with the heat from the fire. In fact, I find it difficult to get to their stand for the interview.
Because the smoke is too much.
And this is what the FAO intervention wants to address. The UN agency therefore donated this modern fish drying kit to boost dry fish business in the country.
And also it produces nutritious food that has consistency. It reduces these harmful hydrocarbons that are cancer causing. And it could also make the fish of export quality. So these are unique things of this.
This means that Safia and Rose and others in Kado Market will now be producing fish with ease and in more hygienic condition. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Now, Dara community, which suffered a massive flooding recently, is to receive additional assistance from the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA. Already, pre-assessment relief materials are being dispatched to victims within 48 hours after the flooding. The materials include 10 trailer loads of building materials comprising roofing sheets, planks, cement, tons of grains, cereals, other edibles as well as blankets, mattresses and other sleeping materials. Relief materials were received by the stakeholders just as the Emir of Dara, Alhaji Umar Farouk Umar, lauded the prompt response from the National Emergency Management Agency. NEMA equally promised the community that in line with global best practices, as soon as the assessment of the damage to flood-ravaged communities is reported, additional food items and building materials would usually be dispersed. This is contained in a statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, clearing the air on allegations that President Muhammadu Buhari has turned his back on the people of Dara. This is the news on NTA International. Time for a break. More news afterwards. Stay right here with us.
Hey, you! And are you how they talk to? I sabi you now. It's in day your mind, Abi. The person with them go help us. Baba Toros and Shangalo. Oga Lekuva, Mr. Sabi. And you know if we carry last for this one.
A spear into the top corner.
We sabi say Peking go crawl before in waka. So don't look, no help anybody. No dolly, no. So go for it. Go for football. Go for all Serie A and La Liga matches live. Go for GoTV Max.
We're still on the news on NTA International. Thanks a lot for staying tuned in. The British government has disclosed the plans to provide more technical support to the ongoing environmental remediation project in Ogoniland in order to preserve the traditional livelihood of farming and fishing of the people. British Deputy High Commissioner to Nigeria, Gail Atkinson, disclosed this when she led a delegation of the Commission to inspect the cleanup project in Ogoni. Robinson Deratede reports.
Delegation of the British High Commission was conducted around 6 lots at Eleme and 1 lot in Tai, actively advancing. The contamination level of the soil is said to be as deep as 8 to 9 meters, and the companies are already excavating the soil in order to treat it, as well as building biocells towards preventing the contamination of other areas. The High Commissioner appreciated the gradual remediation process and promised our nation's technical support through the Department of International Development.
It's important that this work is done properly and to a high standard, and that people understand that to get the cleaning process right will take time, and this is a long-term support to the project.
IPREP project coordinator Marvin Dekel maintains the stance of the federal government not to compromise the remediation standard in order to serve as a template for the cleanup of other parts of the Niger Delta region.
Previous attempts to remediate the place did not include these biocells, so it's the first time this is being done this way in Nigeria by the Nigerian government.
Earlier, the British Deputy High Commissioner was decorated with the title of the prominent female friend of the Eleme people by the paramount ruler of Eleme Kingdom, His Royal Majesty Philip Obele. From Eleme in Rivers State, Robinson Deratede, NTA News.
Now for news reports which trended last week, let's join Obiagele Ugwoke for the word in 6 days segments of the news.
Hello there, it's glad to have you join us on the world in 6 days. The Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, announced a new coalition government 7 months after the inauguration of President Felix Tshisekedi. The president's spokesperson announced on Monday that the power-sharing agreement saw 23 members, Tshisekedi's Direction for Change party, and the remaining 42 from former longtime President Joseph Kabila's Common Front for Congo FCC coalition. About 3/4 of those in the new administration were serving in government for the first time. Tshisekedi took office in January after winning a December 30th election. Still from the Democratic Republic of Congo, the year-long Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo has hit a milestone of more than 3,000 confirmed and probable cases, with the death toll rising above 2,000. Data made available by government sources showed that as responders battled to overcome community mistrust and security problems, the outbreak, Congo's 10th is the second worst epidemic of the virus on record. It is also the first in the densely fostered hillside provinces where militia-led violence and ethnic killing have undermined security in certain areas for decades. In Sudan, a newly created sovereign council formally declared a state of emergency in the city of Port Sudan on Sunday following tribal clashes that police said have killed at least 16 persons. Acting governor and head of the National Security Service for the Eastern Red Sea state, which Port Sudan is the capital, were both dismissed. This is coming at a delicate time for Sudan, following the signing of a power-sharing agreement earlier this month. The Joint Military-Civilian Sovereign Council was sworn in last week. A police statement says clashes between members of the Beni Irma and Nuba tribes, which have flared up in the past, were reignited on Wednesday and continued into Saturday morning. Security services were placed on high readiness in order to quell any escalation, and an investigative committee has been formed. Port Sudan is Sudan's main sea gateway and is used by South Sudan to export oil. Police in Tanzania clashed with hundreds of protesters over agitation by them for the release of a Tanzanian plane seized last week in South Africa. A Tanzania Airbus 2203 was impounded by South African authorities on Friday following an order from a high court in Johannesburg. The move has caused anger in the East African nation, which was a key ally to South Africa's now governing African National Congress. Meanwhile, Tanzania's Interior Minister says more than 200,000 Burundian refugees who sought refuge in Tanzania have until 1st October to go home or will be forced to leave. The Burundians had fled political unrest in 2015 amid protests over President Pierre Nkurunziza's ultimately successful third-term bid and the subsequent failed coup. Tanzania is party to the UN Refugee Convention, which prohibits the forceful return to countries that people have fled from. And lastly, Japan has pledged to help Africa double its rice production by the year 2030 at a conference attended by African leaders in the Japanese city of Yokohama. Speaking on the sidelines of the Tokyo International Conference on African Development, TICAD, Japan's Prime Minister Shinzo Abe said Japanese technology and innovation would play a key role in achieving this goal. The plan is to help the continent produce 50 million tons in 11 years. The Africa Development Bank, AFDB, has supported the initiative. As part of a move to improve agricultural productivity, Japan, in partnership with the AFDB, hopes to help shift the mindset of smallholder African farmers from producing to eat to producing to sell. That's the package. I'm Obiageli Ugoke. Many thanks for your time.
Thanks a lot too for the package, Ubiageli. Now, Tunisia Electoral Commission has announced 26 candidates out of 96 who are eligible for the September 15 presidential election. Head of Electoral Commission, Nabil Baffoun, made the disclosure at a news conference. Elsewhere, German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier has asked Poland's forgiveness for Nazi tyranny 80 years on from the start of the World War II. Mr. Steinmeier and other world leaders are in Poland to commemorate the outbreak of a conflict. Early on Sunday, a ceremony was held in the Polish city of Wieluń, where the first German bomb fell. And now Ayodeji Makinde is standing by for a sports package.
Team Nigeria arrived Abuja Sunday after settling for a second-place finish at the 12th African Games in Rabat, Morocco. The country's weightlifters turned up with the most medals by any sport with 47, including 16 gold, as Nigeria displaced South Africa with 46 gold, 33 silver and 48 bronze behind the virtual champions Egypt, who won 173 medals over 2 weeks. Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Youth and Sports Development Olushade Adeshola is confident that the foundations laid by the National Youth Games and the National Sports Festival will further boost Nigeria's chances at Tokyo 2020 Olympics.
The ministry, as a deliberate policy, have supported federations with capacity The result culminated to a more competitive approach to finding athletes that will represent Nigeria. And this is what has translated to the modest achievement that we have.
Over 6,500 athletes from 54 countries competed in the 12th edition of the Fiesta, which officially closed on Saturday amidst fanfare. The game's flag was handed over to Accra ahead of the 2023 showpiece. The Tigers coach Alex Nwora says the team will be more clinical in point scoring when they take on Argentina in the second Group B match of FIBA Men's Basketball World Cup on Monday. Nigeria lost against Russia on Saturday 77 to 82 points after their inability to hold on to a 71 to 63 points lead with 6 minutes to go in the last quarter. Meanwhile, Africa will have to wait till Monday for the possibility of a first victory at the 2019 World Cup after Lithuania beat Senegal 101 to 47 points on Sunday. With Sports Update, Ayodeji, Makinde, NTA News.
And that concludes the news on NT International. Thanks a lot for your time. Join us again at 9 for the news at Muspa and Wahab.
If you travel around the world, you will find out that there is no place like Nigeria. Beautiful, peaceful, very warm and friendly climate all year round. Largest concentration of black people in the world. Hospitable, vibrant and happy people. There is no place like Nigeria. A land of opportunities. The biggest window in the world of business and investments. Extremely rich in multicultural diversity. There is no place like Nigeria.
Nigeria, good people, great nation.
Welcome to Nigeria, a fascinating country. Take a trip through one of the most beautiful places on earth. A journey of discovery. A unique opportunity to get in touch with unspoiled nature. Enjoy your time in a place that offers something for everyone. A land of beautiful contrasts. An experience you won't forget.